Alright, good deal. We're here live now. Just had to get my mic situated. Alright, folks, what I was saying was, we'll restart that dialogue again. Sorry about that. We're live streaming here, by the way. Basically, what we're doing here is I'm running an R5 1600, the RX 480, 4 gig version, not even the 8 gig version, might add you. 16 gigs of RAM. I do have a 250 gig SSD, but the game's not on it. It's actually on my secondary drive. But we're just going to test our gameplay just to show you that, hey, look, you can play games like GTA 5. You can play games like Project Cars 2, Forza 7, iRacing, many other games, and you don't need powerhouse bukus and stuff. I mean, obviously, if you got the money, sure, go ahead, buy it. You know, get the best of the best, why not? But if you're on a budget and you still want to build a game at optimal, and I look at anything well over 60 to 70 frames, and you're going to see this thing pretty much stays constant at over 60 frames. Might dip every once in a while, but again, we're running on a 4 gig 480. We don't even have the 8 gig version here. My other system that I have is an R7 1700 with 16 gigs. It has a 1070 card in it. Obviously, though, I'm gonna be honest with you, between the two, I think they run about comparable. The biggest difference between those systems is, yeah, look, I'm streaming right now. So not on top of that, I'm streaming. You gotta look, that's also putting a strain on everything else there, CPU wise. So keep that in mind, that these figures are also figures that, if you're not streaming, should run a lot smoother. So let's get into it here. To show you what we got, we're gonna go into the story mode. Load this bad boy up. All right, sounds good, man. Look, we'll see everybody out in the chat. Like I said, we'll do this as a live stream. Normally I do iRacing broadcasts, but live stream here, telecast just to show what an R5 1600 with a RX 480 4 gig version can do. 16 gigs of RAM. You can see right now we're running a constant, 70 some 80 frames a second. We'll get out here, it dips down into the 40s 50s, but it's still, I mean, this game actually only runs, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, Rockstar says it only runs at 30 frames. So anything well above 40 or so, whatnot. Normally I play this game with some mods, but this one here's just true out vanilla. As you can see, it dips down 40 some, but here's the thing, what you gotta understand is I'm streaming, folks, and this thing is still constant 40 some with all this graphics and tints there, drops down a little bit. So yeah, I'm taking a hit right now because I'm streaming. If I wasn't streaming, this thing would be constant up there. Now what I could do to take some of the load off of this while I was streaming is I actually could go over to hardware side of streaming. I could use the actual graphics card itself. Another thing, let me just go ahead, I'm gonna stop a second. Let me show you the settings, because actually, I want to know my opinion. I'm at 1440 right now, so bring that back down to 1920 by 1080, and that everything is on everything's on high. And just go through very high or anything like that. 16 times. You actually could bring that down to 8. Improve it just a little bit if you wanted to. I pretty much just left everything stopped like it was, but there we go. I was actually at 1440. Now you can see the frame rate actually at 1080. Boom, there you go. So at 1080, this thing streaming constantly up in the 40s 50s. It's dipping down low.
Hey, look,
not
man.
down in the 30 range like we were.
You were like a son to me. Employee of the month. Does that mean nothing to you?
Man, the dude had a gun to my head.
No loyalty, no integrity. You should have taken the bullet. My business, my
here
totally
playing a little
legitimate business. You are fucked, my boy.
Everybody's probably gonna be like, man, it's only 40 frames, 39, blah blah blah. Again, you gotta understand, I'm streaming. Now, what I will do is if let's do this. Give me 1 second, because you can see me right here. I'm streaming pretty good, but let's do this right here. Watch this. Okay, we should be back. What I basically did was I changed now to hardware streaming. I'm using the AMD encoder, and so now let's see what we got. Look at that. Stays up a lot more now, 60 solid frames a second, because now we're able to utilize the actual CPU. Then constant 50 some. So streaming at X264 on the CPU side with a game like GTA will hurt frames per second. But here's going to give you kind of an idea of what it's going to be off stream. And you can see right now we're staying constant even on heavy loads, 50 some, and
I'm sorry.
even dipping up above 60 some, 50. Again, these are all stock settings. R5, 1600, 16 gigs, stock settings with an RX 480. I have not overclocked. Using a RAS cooler on this thing. This is actually even with memory running at 2133, so the memory's not even running there. But you can see, man, we're running pretty consistent. This game, yeah, I mean, it's fine for me. You know, I'm not a junkie when it comes to, oh Lord, I gotta have 144 frames. Folks, I'm on a TV. So, for me being on a TV, what I'm seeing right now, plenty. This is not, you know, this is the average user. Now, an avid gamer, sure, somebody that wants to get out there and have the best of the best. Gotta have everything, you know. But this is me streaming with an AMD encoder, R5 1600. I wanted to show you guys basically what it is. Let me go back here and show you again my settings. I am playing with a pad, but you can see all this right here. Oops. We were at 1440 a second ago. Dropped down a little bit. DirectX 9, Windows border 1080, 16:9. Everything's on. Up high, very high. I did drop the aniscopic, whatever you call that thing, filtering down just a little bit. So let's go into the advanced settings just to kind of show you those. Heck, we'll turn on the high resolution shadows just so you'll know. Don't even know what that stuff is. Don't know what that stuff is. I have no clue. But okay. Let's see if that makes a difference. High resolution shadows. We're still running at 70 frames, 80. I mean, look at the detail with the sunlight right there. I mean, you can tell. It's just awesome. Yeah, I mean, and this is not even running the game on a solid state either. Excuse me. This is, like I say, it's again me live streaming. We're in the middle of town where most of the stuff is. What they're still running right at 60, about 50 some, 57 it dips. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with this. I hope this has been informative for most people. As you can see here, definitely is this is an awesome game. You know, GTA 5. You'll see me play it more and more with this system and this setup. Because I like doing it with mods. Obviously, Frank and company. But I think we'll do one with we'll do Project Cars. Actually, I'll pull up iRacing too. A lot of guys may like iRacing. Don't have my wheels set up, so I might have to show you on the controllers. Although it's not the ideal thing to do, but basically I'm just showing graphics and all. Like I say, if this helped you out in any way on deciding whether or not an R5 1600 is right for you, then there you go. And you can see, man, what the wattage is being used, temperature of the CPU up there, percentage. So it's not really a bottleneck happening anywhere. Again, quite happy with it. I appreciate everybody watching. And hey, stay tuned. We're going to have some more tutorial videos here. Thanks again.